Hello and welcome to ICTN's Open Line Election Special. I'm Thomas Gandy. Election Day is May 4th and we want you to be informed. 3 city council races are on the ballot along with a proposition measure. Voters will consider the legal sale of all alcoholic beverages for off-premise consumption only. Then for the city council races, we invited all of the candidates to come to our studio. For those who accepted, each had approximately 5 minutes to talk about the issues he feels are important. Keep in mind that candidates' opinions are their own and not necessarily those of ICTN or the City of Irving. Early voting is April 22nd through April 30th. Then Election Day, as I mentioned, is May 4th. Now the messages from the candidates. In single-member District Place 1, the incumbent is running unopposed. And for at-large District Place 2, we will hear from the candidates in the order they will appear on the ballot. That order is determined by a drawing. Here they are.
Hello friends and neighbors. My name is Cheyenne Elahi. I'm a civil rights attorney who lives and works in Irving, and I'm a candidate for Irving City Council Place 2 at large, which means that all registered voters in Irving can vote for me in the upcoming election, which is in upcoming May. I'm asking for your vote today because a diverse and progressive city like Irving should be represented by somebody who embodies Irving's progressive values, and I do just that. Irving is not just a suburb to me. It's a great city, as we all know, full of energy, diversity, and potential. If elected, I promise to be transparent and accessible. I will hold quarterly town hall meetings, which don't seem to happen here, so that the citizens of Irving can be heard from directly, and I will take your input back to the City Hall. I will also make sure that you get a quarterly newsletter so you know what's going on in your city and where the money's being spent. You know, if I'm elected, the most important agenda to me is public and school safety, which means I want higher paid police who are well trained with the diverse needs and issues of our citizens, so they know exactly how to act with them and what to do for them. I also want to invest in modernized security that utilizes the latest technology to safeguard our city and our school children and our college-going population. A couple of years ago, there was a murder in North Lake College, and nothing has changed there security-wise. We must protect our children. You know, affordable housing is really dear to my heart, and I believe that smart development should only happen after impact studies. So anything that is brought in front of the City Hall, any development, I will make sure that the citizens know how it would impact Irving at large and not just a part of Irving. I will also focus on improvement to infrastructure, which means that we need good and better roads, faster roads, and that the city provides prompt service to its citizens. And we must also anticipate the future needs of a growing population and not wait until they move to make those changes. And finally, and most importantly, I want to work to bridge the gap between South and North Irving. This is an issue that lip service is paid to for much too long, but nothing really has been done. I intend to bring activists and stakeholders from South Irving and give them the right and the authority to develop changes and suggest what needs to be done to redevelop South Irving. You know, everybody should have the same access to the facilities and amenities which their taxes have paid for. Therefore, there should be no South and North Irving. There should be just one Irving. Also, there is no place for hate in Irving. You know, in 2009, Irving City Hall allowed our Irving police to deport 2,700 Irving residents to help the federal government. And in 2015, our ex-mayor profited from Islamophobia by beating up on a minority which plays a significant part in Irving. This will never happen under my watch. I will make sure that we put ordinances and issues in place, that we discuss things that discourages such behavior from our elected leaders. You know, local control is a big issue. Austin is taking away our power to run our own cities. And none of our leaders speak to Austin and challenge them. I will do that because we pay the taxes here, we live here, we know what's best for our city. Irving is developing and growing, and I will help that progress. I want to see our city flourish, but not just economically. I want the city to flourish as a community with values as well. As the city fulfills its potential, I want the people to be united as one Irving, one city. Thank you.
My name is Dinesh Mali. I'm running for a councilman, place 2 for City of Irving. I'm a most qualified person for this job. I'm a professional engineer. Have a professional engineering degrees. I have practicing engineering for 4 years. Also, I was elected to the Irving ISD 2015 to 2017, and I'm an electable person. As a councilman, I would like to address several issues that are concerned to our city. One of them is affordable housing. When our city is inviting other companies to move in, and they are moving in, then they also bring business plus employment. Where are they going to live? The affordable housing is the issue that we must focus on. How do we make affordable houses, and where can we make affordable houses? That's the issue that I like to tackle. Over the years, South Irving got deteriorated. It needs our attention. I would be recommending a panel to come up with a plan to look at the South Irving, see what we can do and how can we redevelop. Maybe there is an opportunity to bring a new house, affordable housing in South Irving. There could be an opportunity to bring commercial development in the South Irving. You know, when Irving Boulevard will be dedicated as a memorial highway, we have to think of City of Irving Boulevard. Loop 12 to Beltline. What are we going to do? How are we going to improve? And how are we going to make that city street, which will be memorable highway? The people has to drive through and they have to be impressed. I do not like a red light camera. When the term will expire, I like to let it go. Red light camera is not a cash cow for City of Irving. I do not like the payday loan people charge heavy, high interest rate to the economically disadvantaged people. I believe business should make a business profit to stay in a business, but not high profit that can turn into high interest. I like the Irving Police Department, the way they're doing the community policing. I see them in my neighborhood every day. You know, they are protecting our diversified ethnicity. They are at the Irving Islamic temple, Hindu temple, Buddhist temple, and any event where we have people praying the God, they are there for crowd control. And I tell you, the community policing, the way they are doing it, we're not going to have a New Zealand type massacre in City of Irving. I just would like to let you know that I am in the community, lived here since 2002. I did a lot of community work, and I like to become your councilman and serve you. I would like to look into certain issues that I discuss. I'm most qualified person for this job. I'm going to say, vote for me. As you know, this is a land of opportunity where dreams come true. This is my dream, to be a councilman. And again, if you want to make a change, you have to be part of a change. Thank you very much for listening to me. I hope you vote for me, and I will be working for you day one. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Radwan Saleh. I'm running for the 2019 Irving City Council Place 2 at-large position. We're seeing exponential growth in Irving, and I would like to contribute towards this economic growth and diversity. I am a proud 10-year resident of Irving. My reason for running is to take Irving forward. My wife and I were born in New York City. Our 3 children were born and raised right here in Texas. As a public servant, I will work towards public safety and infrastructure. I want to take Irving to the next level for attracting international and global business. And if elected, I will work with the mayor and the team at City Hall to revitalize South Irving and create opportunities for local jobs. Irving, as we know, is a thriving city and that embraces diversity. My goal and commitment is to represent this diversity to bring about respect and synergy to our city. I will use every resource to my disposal to make Irving a signature city in DFW. I look forward to your support in voting me in the Irving City Council this coming May. Thank you.
Firstly, allow me to thank each of you for having me tonight. My name is Jesse Kohler. I stand here truly humble and appreciate the privilege and opportunity of being considered as your next city councilman for Place 2. I've lived most of my life right here in Irving. I came here from Cincinnati, Ohio as a toddler in 1976. I have experience in business and operational management in the hospitality and retail industries, along with additional experience in the real estate sector. Now, after 9/11, I answered the call to serve my country in support of the war on terrorism. I served as a platoon sergeant with the renowned 82nd Airborne Division. Not only did I jump out of a perfectly good airplane as an airborne infantryman, but I also worked in intelligence gathering and analytics and was assigned as the U.S. liaison to the Preventional Coordination Center, and I was also the NCO of operations in the company Fusion Cell. I have a bachelor's degree in business management and another bachelor's in science and accounting, specifically governmental and not-for-profit accounting and auditing. As an accountant, I have a specific skill set that analyze in detail a business's or primary government's financial position, read and comprehend what is called the CAFR, the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, and annual budgets, and be able to trace financial transactions and determine if reporting entities is in compliance with GAAP and GASB, just to name a few. But in short, I know how and where your tax dollars are being spent. I'm married to a wonderful and charming wife who works at a not-for-profit organization, and although we don't have children in the traditional sense, we consider our dear dog Lexi our daughter. And I'm here today because voters are demanding higher caliber representation. Representation that will return voters back to the driver's seat of their own government. They deserve a council member who will place the needs and wants of its citizens above their own, making the voters, once again, priority number one. Now, Irving has around 240,000 residents. Less than 100,000 are registered to vote, but only 10% actually vote in our local elections. People say their vote doesn't matter, and at the local level, that statement couldn't be further from the truth. Citizens are concerned about roads and water rates, taxes, and voting for your city council member helps ensure that those concerns will be addressed. The phrase power of the people is so understated. Our voting system was designed for maximum participation. Ideally, voting will help keep our leaders and appointees honest, accountable, and on their toes. It helps keep our leaders from getting complacent. It also keeps our laws and ordinances relative to social and political changes. Most importantly, it keeps the voters involved and engaged within their community. As representatives, we work for you. We answer to you. We are you, the people. Not developers, big corporations, not special interests, and certainly not political or religious groups, but the people. Every day I hear from voters who have real concerns, such as red light cameras, eyesores in areas such as Plymouth Park, code enforcement, lifestyles overlapping, political corruption, and roads. I'm here to listen, evaluate the facts, analyze plans of actions, and act on those concerns. There are city council members who are doing great things for the city and for its citizens, and I look forward to working with them and as a team serving Irving. However, a lot of the controversy that surrounded our city in the last few years was due to certain leaders making hasty and uninformed decisions. Before making any decision, I'll make sure that all the pertinent facts are obtained and all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. My focus will always be on the best interests of the citizens of Irving. Now, although I hung up my uniform, I never hung up my Army core values: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage that helped guide me as a soldier. And just as I served and represented my country, I will do the same for the city of Irving. Operating in a diverse and dynamic city as Irving requires a melting pot of subject matter experts and disciplines. The experience I have in both the civilian sector and military will help ensure my ability to work with others and understand the complexity of what is required to effectively operate the city. Though this race is filled with a diverse set of candidates and may seem daunting, keep it simple. Vote for the one you can trust. Trust to represent you. Trust to keep you safe, and trust with your hard-earned tax dollars. You know, I'll never have all the answers, but I promise to always listen to those who do. Thank you again. God bless America. God bless Texas, and God bless Irving.
Hello, my name is Alan Meager. I am currently serving as your City Council representative for Place 2 on the Irving City Council. I'm up for re-election this year. This is my third and final term, and I'd like to say, first of all, thank you for having the confidence in me to vote on me for the last couple of years and to serve the City of Irving for the past 6 years. A little about my experience. Back in the late 1999, I got appointed to the Planning and Zoning Commission for the City of Irving, and I served 5 years as a Planning and Zoning Commissioner. That gave me the insight on what's really going on in Irving. So at that time, I had several people approach me and ask me to run for City Council. Being a lifelong Irving resident, wasn't born here, didn't have a hospital here, but being a lifelong Irving resident, I decided to go ahead and run for City Council. In 2004, I was elected to Place 3, and that is Beltline Road West, the entire western side of our city. I served 2 terms, and then I stepped down to take care of my family and to concentrate on my job. I sat out for 2 years, and I was asked to come back, and so I ran for Place 2, which is an at-large position within our city, and every citizen in our city can vote on Place 2, and that is what is up this time and for my re-election. So every single citizen can vote on this. And I just want to tell you a few of the accomplishments I made. Like I said, I've been very dedicated to the city. 18 years I have dedicated to this city, and I love this city. We have got so much going on, and we've done so much over the years, but we have a lot of new stuff going on. We have Roads to the Future, which is going to be $100 million put into our streets over the next 5 years, $20 million per year. That still won't fix every street within our city, but it'll give it a big jump start. We have several projects planned for South Irving as well as North Irving. A few of the things in South Irving, we're fixing to redo Heritage Park. To be nice, it's going to triple the size of the park. We're going to redo Irving Boulevard, kind of slow it down a little bit around Main Street, put some parallel parking in, make it pedestrian friendly. We've got a museum that will be opening on Main Street, and there was a building that was torn down right in the middle of Main Street, which is going to be an art alley. That happened to be my father's building, and I have a lot of memories there from the 60s and 70s and walking across the street to Big State and having lunch. A lot of memories down there on Main Street. But we're doing a lot down there. We're going to work on Old Central Fire Station, actually. We're going to see if we can get that station rebuilt and make it an active fire station for one pumper and kind of a museum for when we have events down in downtown Irving. Like I said, I was raised here. Everything I do within this city is for the citizens of this city. I've lived here my entire life. I've raised my boys here. I'm very proud of that. And so every vote I make, I have to think about how it affects not only the citizens today, but how it's going to affect everybody 20 years down the road. We look back, and Irving has changed, major changes since the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I did go to MacArthur High School here, graduated in 1980, and the things that have changed, it's a lot of for the good. Some people don't think it's for the best, but I'll tell you what, we're working to make things better. The quality of life for the citizens of Irving, every vote we make affects you. So we have to really think about it because we're representing you. This isn't us. This is for our city. How is this going to affect you and your children 20 to 25 years down the road? And I guess that's why I take the job personally. I love this job. I didn't do it for a resume or a step up. I'm retired. I spent 30 years with the same company in operations management, and I retired this past, 2017, and I went back to college. I've really enjoyed college. I will be graduating here in about 2.5 months, and I'll have my BBA in management with a minor in marketing, and I'll probably continue on and do some other things. But right now, what I'm here to talk about is I am up for re-election. I would really appreciate your support my very last term. And like I said, I have served this city for 18 years. I have more experience than any of the opposition. Well, the only one with experience, actually. And I need your support. Anything you can do to help. And everybody has to remember, every single vote counts. Don't think your vote doesn't matter. Every vote counts. So once again, my name is Alan Meager. I'm up for re-election, place 2. Thank you.
Now to the candidate running unopposed for single-member district, place 7.
Hello, Irving. My name is Kyle Taylor. I'm the city council member for District 7. I'm up for re-election this year. I'm running unopposed. So I'm looking forward to my second term. Kind of want to talk a little bit about some of the things that I feel were important that we got accomplished and what I'm looking forward to doing in my next term here with the city. So I want to talk about a couple of highlights. I'm the chair of the Community Services Committee. I want to talk about some things we've done to help improve our committee. And improve our community. First is our behavioral health leadership team. I know you've heard a lot about that. I was able to co-chair that committee. We were able to embed police officers with mental health training to be able to add better service and better care to those folks out in our community who need that. We've partnered with several different mental health groups to be able to provide that service. Instead of taking them to jail or having to run our citizens to Dallas, we can now offer them the assistance and the follow-up that they need here, so I'm very proud of that. The second thing that we've accomplished is we have an employee health clinic now for our employees here at the City of Irving. This is something that will save the taxpayers a lot of money and allow us to provide better health care for our employees. So we were able to retain our employees here in the city. Does a great job serving us. And third is we have done a lot of work. When I ran, one of the ones I ran on was the integrity of our neighborhoods and improving the appearance of our community. So we've been doing a lot of work rewriting our codes and our ordinances here in the city. We were able to add evening and weekend code enforcement officers. Been able to look at some different ordinances, just make our community, our neighborhoods look better. That was something that when I ran was very important to the people in District 7, so I'm very proud of that. And lastly, on things we've got accomplished so far is the Parks Master Plan. Relooking at our park system that we haven't done for the last 20 years to make sure that our parks and all those playlands and leisure lands that we have will be 21st century parks. A couple of things that I'm looking at to get accomplished in the next 3 years is, number one, is looking at our housing inventory. What do we actually have? Where are we at on our housing? What do we have that's affordable? What lands do we have that we can still develop to make sure we're building the right kind of houses for the 21st century workforce and provide those places for our employers here in town to have their workforce handy and close by so they live in the City of Irving. Second thing is I want to start looking at our libraries. As we finish and move forward with the Parks Master Plan, is updating and looking at the library, what we have in our library system. What do we need to do to have a 21st century library system? Again, that's to improve the quality of life inside of our city. And lastly is I want to start having a serious conversations about our homelessness and those in our city who are challenged and less fortunate than most of us are. That's a very important thing for me to be able to provide to make sure that everybody has the same opportunities and chances to be able to succeed, to become self-sufficient. So those are the kind of the things that as chair of the Community Services Committee are going to be my focuses on that committee to improve the quality of life inside our city for everybody in the city. And lastly, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you folks in District 7 in the city for allowing me to serve. It is an honor. It is not easy. It is hard work, but it's something I take very, very serious on the future of our city and where our city goes. Please, anytime you have something or have a question, need to reach out or contact, feel free to contact me at any time. I will try to get back to you and help solve any problem that you have in the city. I love this city. it's an honor to be able to sit in that chair and represent District 7 in my neighborhood and the city. So thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for your kind words. Thank you very much for reaching out to me and challenging me and asking me how come we're not doing this or what I think the city can do better on that to help make me a better councilman. Thank you. Appreciate your support.
Those are the messages from the candidates. If you missed any part or want to watch again, check out the show online at youtube.com/thecityofirving or go to ICTN.tv, then click on shows. To recap, early voting is April 22nd through April 30th, then Election Day is May 4th. The City Secretary's office can answer election questions. That number is 972-721-2493. There is also information at cityofirving.org. Thanks for watching this special edition of Open Line. We'll see you next time.